Today's date is February 28th, 2020. The time is approximately 6:17 a.m. This interview is regarding case number IAC 2020-10006C. I am Sergeant Ray Moss of the Manatee County Sheriff's Office Professional Standards Division, and this interview is being conducted at the Professional Standard Divisions of the Sheriff's Office. Present in the room is Sergeant DeCesar of Professional Standards, and being interviewed is, please state your full name, spelling, your last name. And what's your ID number? Also present in the room is Deputy Counsel, and that is spelling last name and spelling the last name is. Are you aware this interview is being recorded?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You are aware this is a non-custodial interview in a criminal investigation. You're not required to talk to us. You do have counsel present.
Yes, sir.
And you're free to leave if you wish.
Yes, sir.
Have any promise or threats been made against you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Thank you. What's your current assignment?
I'm assigned to squad on the patrol division.
And how long have you been there?
I'm going on 2 years now.
Before that, you also participated in our Explorers program?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You did that for how many years?
Oh, gosh. Probably about 8 almost.
Okay. So you've been around the Sheriff's Department a long time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Done a lot of ride-alongs when you were in the Explorer program?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Incident occurred on February 25th. Well, actually, you came to work on February 25th, correct? At 7?
I was working overtime.
Okay. So overtime shift starts at what time?
8 p.m.
So you came to work at 8 p.m. Shortly after midnight, an incident occurred. You responded as an assistant. Start with how you got involved in that.
Okay, so I was sitting at the Wawa at 53rd and 14th Street West. We just got done dealing with a subject who had a warrant. Another deputy asked for backup. I don't recall his last name. So we got done with that. I heard attempted traffic stop on a possible DUI vehicle. He asked for backup. I wasn't far down the road, so I advised dispatch they could attach me. I responded to the general location where he was calling because he said he was still moving. So I went westbound on 53rd Ave West. At that time, they asked for priority backup, which is lights and sirens, as the vehicle wasn't really coming to a stop quite yet. So supervisors authorized the priority. So I started responding in priority mode, and that's when they advised the vehicle was not yielding to his lights and sirens, and he was going to be in pursuit of the vehicle. Supervisors again authorized the pursuit. So I was able to catch up to the pursuit at probably about the 3200 block Cortez Road, and I took over the secondary position, which is now just calling out the speeds, the direction the road we're on, the traffic around it. The vehicle continued westbound. Speeds never went higher than 35 when I was involved. We approached 51st Street West in Cortez, and it appeared the subject was going to make a south turn on the 51st. He wasn't able to negotiate the turn, so he kind of like yanked the wheel back right, and now he proceeded westbound in the eastbound lanes of Cortez Road.
Let me stop you there.
Yes, sir.
When the time you got behind it and started calling out as the location, speed,
Yes, sir.
How was the driver of that vehicle driving?
Okay, yeah. So there was sparks shooting out from under the car as he was driving on his front rims. The vehicle was kind of weaving, pinballing in between the two westbound lanes, not able to stay in his own lane.
And there's two lanes there.
There's
correct?
2 lanes.
So he was back and forth
Yep.
from curb to curb?
From curb to curb, yep. He was kind of weaving back and forth. Like I said, speeds were only 35 miles an hour. Sparks were coming up from him driving the rim on the pavement.
What did you think about the driver at that point, seeing what you were seeing? It's not a usual sight.
Yeah, no, I definitely had the suspicion that he was impaired. He wasn't, sober. He was definitely impaired the way he was driving.
Was he complying? I mean, lights and sirens are going,
yeah? Both of our have the lights and sirens on. These new LED lights are extremely bright. The sirens are loud. So he knew we were behind him.
Did he show any signs of compliance?
No.
Okay, so you get down to 51st, but when did you get, what street did you get behind?
It was about the 3200 block.
Okay, so 32
right around
51st, you got there.
Yeah.
Okay. When he went to turn on 51st, he didn't, and then he went in the wrong lane?
Correct, in the oncoming lanes, yep. So he was now traveling westbound in eastbound lanes.
And what did you do?
I advised dispatch, and supervisors keyed up and said, don't follow in the oncoming lanes. So as we were trying to get back into our correct lanes of traffic, that's when he was attempting to turn into that first entrance into Walmart right there.
Okay.
So I advised dispatch, well, hang on, he's trying to turn into Walmart. That's when he went up over he couldn't negotiate the turn. He went up over the curb right there, and I advised dispatch, and he's got his car stuck. We're going to attempt a felony stop. And then
So you did follow him though in the...
Correct. Yes, we followed him for a little bit, and then that's when supervisors, I don't remember which ones, but they advised don't follow in the oncoming. Again, there was zero traffic out. We passed one car at the red light, but he was able to get far enough out of the way to where the guy was able to get past him. And then, so yeah, he tried to make that south turn into the Walmart entrance, got stuck on the curb. That's when kind of positioned his patrol vehicle to where he wouldn't be able to open the door and get out to prevent a foot chase.
Did you know he was doing that at that time,
I did not.
or did you just assume that, or?
I know, I was assuming that's what he was doing when he came up, but I didn't know if that was his actual intent.
And where did you stop your vehicle at?
I stopped my patrol vehicle probably approximately 20 feet behind.
Why did you stop that for that?
Because that's the usual distance when we're going to do a felony stop. We want to have some distance in between us and the suspect's vehicle.
Was there any other deputies behind you, or?
I was focused
you were
on
focused on the vehicle?
what was on in front of me. Yes, sir.
So you got out of your vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Did you cut your siren off?
No. My siren was still going. The siren was still activated. There was a lot of noise going on. I observed him in front of his patrol vehicle, and his agency-issued firearm was out. It wasn't necessarily pointed at the subject, but I could see he was yelling at him, giving him commands. And since he was on the driver's side, I was going to approach on the passenger side, just so we could have a full view of the vehicle and the suspect.
Did you know at that point how many people were in the car?
I did not. We did not. I believe that advised he believes it was one vehicle, but again, he couldn't advise either over.
But you didn't know?
No, I did not know.
Could you see into the vehicle? Do you recall being able to
I could see like figures. I couldn't see like 100% what was right there.
Silhouette?
So yeah, I could see a silhouette of the guy, and again, you couldn't see if someone was laying down in the back or laying down in the passenger seat. As I was approaching the vehicle, I noticed his engine was still like...
You could hear the engine?
I could hear the engine like stuck revving. His back tires were spinning, making the squealing noise on the pavement. So he was still actively attempting to get away. He still wasn't complying. So as I'm approaching the vehicle on the passenger side, I get approximately 5 feet from the back bumper, and all of a sudden the reverse lights kicked on, and the vehicle popped off the... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, when those reverse lights came on and the engine was revving?
Yeah.
Okay, and the front tires on the wheel was spinning, right? It's a front wheel drive vehicle?
Yeah, it sounded like there was, I don't know if they were hitting the cement curb,
mm-hmm.
and
but you could hear the noise?
They were making the spinning sounds against the...
Because when you were driving, following it, you said there were sparks coming out.
Correct.
So it lost all the thread on the
tread on the
both
tires,
or just one tire on the front?
Both front tires, yeah.
Okay. And when you approached, you were almost to the vehicle?
Yeah,
Could you reach out and touch the vehicle when the backup lights came on?
Yes, when the backup lights came on, I could reach out and touch the vehicle.
So you were within arm's length, which is pretty close.
Yes.
And you touched that, you didn't touch the vehicle, but you had your gun out.
Yes, I had my gun out.
And your intent was that time was to transition to the passenger side
to get
provide cover.
Yes, sir.
For
deputy.
Could you hear saying anything?
I could hear him, but honestly I couldn't make out what he was saying, but I could hear his voice yelling.
You were assuming he was giving commands?
Correct.
Okay. Was the driver complying?
No.
Okay. The vehicle, was it moving, rocking or anything at that point? With the tires spinning in the front?
It was trying to free him. He was trying to get the vehicle up off the curb, and then...
So you approached, you're within arm's length of it, and you transition actually across the bumper. Yeah.
Like if this is the back of it, you said arm's length when you saw the reverse lights.
Correct.
If this is the rear of let's say this is the rear of the car,
yes.
Where do you think you were in relation to that when you saw those lights?
Probably about right here.
So more towards the passenger side?
Correct.
Okay.
So when those lights came on, what went through your mind?
That I was like, oh crap, he's about to run me over, and like this is all going on within fractions of a second, and it's going on. And
okay. Light came on. Did it immediately start to move?
Yeah, as soon as those reverse lights came on, it popped up over the curb and started to come backwards.
And what did you instinctively do?
I just started to backpedal and try to retreat, and then at that point...
I noticed there was a little dip in the road there where the vehicle was parked.
Like gutter grade.
And did that affect you in any way?
Yeah, when I was running back, I kind of stumbled on it because the ground was uneven. It kind of like, my knee kind of buckled, and I kind of like gave out, and it slowed me down from being able to get out of there.
When it lurched back and you stumbled, what did you think?
I thought, I'm going to see the underneath of this.
Was that an oh shit moment?
Yeah,
so
yeah, for sure.
You ever been in a situation like that before?
No, sir.
And of course, this is like happening real fast.
Fractions of a second, yes. So,
you stumble, obviously you have your weapon at it.
Yeah, at this time, I'm fully extended, pointed in at him.
You started to transition to going backwards.
Yes, sir.
What'd you do? What happened?
So, I'm yelling stop. I know definitively I'm just yelling stop. I'm pleading with him, just stop.
Okay.
I don't recall if it was just a thought or if I actually said it, but if it was a thought, it was something along the lines of like, you're going to make me effing shoot you if you don't stop. But all I can say for sure is I was just yelling stop. Then I got to a certain point to where I could see through the rear driver's side window, and he was kind of how they teach you in the driving school how to look back when you're reversing, and I could see him looking back at me, and we locked eyes, and again I was just yelling stop.
When you locked eyes and you yell stop, you're retreating. This happens almost in a fraction of a second. Was the vehicle still going towards you?
Very quickly.
Now, when it came off the curb, did it come straight back, or did it make any turns or anything?
Yeah, his wheels were kind of turned to the left, and he was angling. The rear end was coming right at me.
So the back end was coming towards you. Okay, so you were coming to the back, and the way you were backing, it was backing towards you.
Correct.
Almost like it was
following, tracking.
Yeah, like he was intentionally trying to take the vehicle at me.
And so that coupled, it bucks off, it's revving, it's coming back, it's tracking, you're starting to back up, it's still following,
and then again,
you
stumble,
so you've got that, and then you see him turn and actually looking at
me, yes. And then the flashlight on my pistol was activated, it was on, it's extremely bright, and it was lighting him up in the car.
That's how you could see him and know that his face was looking at you?
So all of this is happening within
fractions of a second.
What did you think?
I'm going to die. This is it. This is career ender. I'm going to see the underneath of this car. He's going to drag me. I was scared. I legitimately thought, I'm going to die tonight. And in my mind, I didn't know where the patrol vehicle was just behind us. I didn't know if I was going to get sandwiched in between. And like we've been saying, all this is going on within fractions of a second. It's all happening so fast. And then I was in fear that he was going to run me over and kill me. So the only option I had at that point was to discharge my firearm.
Do you know how many times you shot?
I think approximately 5 times. I can't tell you for sure.
When did you stop shooting?
When the vehicle stopped.
Okay.
The vehicle came to a stop, so I ceased fire. I stopped shooting.
So you shot until the threat stopped?
Correct.
And then what happened? When the vehicle stopped?
So I immediately kind of positioned myself better to where now I'm not behind the vehicle. I'm not in the threat of the vehicle now. Now that everything can slow down a little bit, I went up to the rear window where I could see him. And
why did you approach at that point? You still had your flashlight on?
Correct. I could still see.
Was he still moving?
Yes, he was fumbling around towards like the center console gear shift area of the vehicle. I didn't know if he was.
But you moved yourself out of the danger zone.
Correct. And then I didn't know if he was trying to reach for a firearm, what was in the car that he was trying to get, if he was trying to get something. So I immediately started giving verbal commands again, show me your hands, show me your hands. I said, stop the car, show me your hands. I could hear Dad yelling too. I couldn't make out what he was saying. But then, within seconds of that encounter, the vehicle was back in drive and he was taken back off westbound in the eastbound lane.
When the vehicle was backing up and you shot and it stopped and you stopped shooting.
It didn't stop immediately.
When you stopped shooting and it eventually stopped, how close were you to the vehicle?
I was within inches. I could have picked my knee up and my knee would have touched the back bumper of the car.
It almost struck you?
Yes, it was very close.
But were you closer to the right passenger side or left, or the driver's side at the point of the rear of the bumper?
When it ended,
yeah.
the driver's side.
Okay.
So you had begun retreating.
Correct.
Because you had started for the rear passenger side of the vehicle, and as it started backing out, you were retreating. Correct me if I'm wrong. Based on how you explained it.
Yeah.
That you're retreating back as the car is following you.
Correct.
Backing up.
And it's coming real fast. The tires are still spinning. The engine's still, all the way revved.
And you're retreating. You're stumbling.
Yep. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So you said that wheels will point to the left when it's backing up. So when it's backing up, when it's coming towards you, that enables you to the angle to see the driver.
And you saw him looking at you.
Yeah, he was fully turned around, looking back.
Like backing up a car.
Yeah, just how they teach you in driver's ed class.
Right. It takes off, drives forward.
Correct.
What did you do?
I immediately get on the radio, advise dispatch that we had shots fired. That was immediately in pursuit of the vehicle, and he was right behind it. I kind of sat there for a second to try to collect everything and okay, what do I need to do now? And then
did your mind kind of, the threat was over at that point, but your mind, you kind of froze a little bit, didn't you?
Correct.
At that point,
I was in
because
shock.
of the stress.
Still in fear, of what all just happened, and trying to process it because it all happened so fast. And then I didn't want to leave Deb by himself, so I got back in my marked patrol vehicle.
Did you see any deputies around, or did you not?
I was still just focused on him, and the only deputy I knew that was there was Deputy. And so I followed him. The suspect tried to make another south turn into the Walmart entrance at Cape Vista in Cortez. Again, couldn't negotiate the turn, went up over the curb again, his vehicle became stuck. That's when I noticed at that point there was several other deputies there. Everyone was converging on the vehicle, and at that point I was kind of pulled off to the side. They told me, hey, we got it, there's enough of us here, we'll render aid. You kind of just go off to the side.
Okay.
Do you recall after when you fired, do you recall radio transmissions? Do you remember verbalizing anything to anybody?
While?
No, after. I would assume it wasn't while.
Yeah, no, yeah. Directly after I was under read, I don't know how many times I said it, but I advised shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. And then I got no response from anybody. I didn't know if that was dispatch protocol. They stopped talking and give us 100% the radio. But then when I got back to my vehicle, I advised again, made sure we had shots fired, just taken off again. And then that's when dispatch was like, oh, all units shots fired, and everyone came.
So once they told you we got him, what'd you do? Did you go back to your car?
I didn't go back to my car. I wanted to leave everything how it was, and then so I kind of went and I believe it was Sergeant Taylor's Tahoe. I don't remember exactly whose, but I kind of just sat up against the front push bumper of that and waited for a supervisor to come over, and that's when Sergeant Taylor came over. Did the supervisor things for that kind of situation.
At some point, did your vehicle end up?
Correct. Yes. I forget what supervisor told me to do so, but he asked me to block out because cars were still trying to come, and then my car was next to, it was the closest vehicle there, and he just said, hey, can you block off that exit so no cars come in that way. I didn't second guess it. It was.
When you say that exit, you mean the eastbound entrance of the Walmart?
Yeah,
where the shooting occurred?
No. The one where everything ended. That entrance.
Okay.
Exit slash exit.
So you moved your car over there?
Just like not even 30 feet up in the front and blocked it off. And
Did your car ever end up back at the original shooting location?
No.
Okay.
Do you remember how many shots you fired?
I know it was around 5. I don't remember an exact number.
But you stopped shooting when the vehicle,
when the threat was neutralized.
You got anything, Counselor?
No questions.
Anything you want to add?
Yes, sir.
Feel comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've been truthful?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay. That will conclude this interview at 6:38 a.m.